What? Wait a minute. Pause. Welcome. Salutations. As you can tell, I am in a better mood. Well, not better mood, but a better state of mind than as of last night, yesterday. So salutations. Welcome. I am Emmanuel Oquindo, a creation amongst creation that just happens to do things, yet would not title himself by any things that he does. And for example, I do YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. I do security. I'm not a security guard. And from there on, and therefore, if you understand what I'm saying, like I may have external variables, but those external variables are not who I am. So, yeah, I'm a creation amongst creation that just happens to do things, yet wouldn't title himself by the things he does. And welcome to Tabernacle of Truth, where our mission is to unite through the Hokadesh Ghost, disciples who love the Father, the Mother, Yeshua, and others, and follow the Father's commands. This happens to be the channel that is dedicated to Tabernacle of Truth, where content as of now consists of, as you see, live streams where I promote the school of thought and allow viewers to ask me anything. And in that case, I can also ask them anything. You know, things go both ways at the end of the day. And as those things are being done, in the case those things are being done while on stream, I will also be speaking on, besides those being done, in the case those are being done, I will also be speaking on things relevant to what is currently going on to my day in life, and or what is going on in our all day in life, being what is going on in today's society. Furthermore, we have short form content where I promote a verse of the day. As of currently, there is no time expectancy on it. It is a rare occasion, and when it comes, just know and just know when it comes, it comes. With that being said, other than short form content consisting of a verse of the day, we also have content where we also have mid form content where, as of currently, I'm reading in the book of Genesis as a Bible study. Interestingly enough, we'll be trying to get back to the garage again soon to record some new footage. I have the beginning clip in, but I do not have the reading in, which we will have to get the reading in. With that being said, besides the reading of Genesis, we also have mid-form content where I expound and allow the Spirit to expound through me about our current celebrations, holidays, and traditions of mankind as a whole, and why the creator of mankind wasn't insisting or intending for those things to be so, and things of that nature. That would be for the mid-form content, short-form content, and long-form content. If the weather, in the case the weather, does what it does and it starts to get warmer soon, we will be getting back to our vlogging and day in the life content, as in a walk and talk, which definitely liked it due to the visuals and me being outside. And I prefer the outdoors visually than being indoors. So that goes for long form content, short form content, who I am. So what you guys will be expecting would be, because I guess I could tell it as in this, yesterday, and a event or thing that happened yesterday, which I wanted to make mention of. Yesterday's live, which didn't go too well due to the fact of tiredness physically and being mentally drained, to be honest. Um, that being said, though, yeah, I got to meet with a few brothers in existence that I previously known from a Bible study group that I attended at a time. And in short, something that he had mentioned was something about like having other variables included in your doctrine and not solely thinking that you're the only one correct, and basically no other truth or goodness came out of any other individual. And as he was saying that, I basically had to reply that, for one, they are aware that like I do listen, like I'm not, blockheaded. I do listen to other individuals, accept what other individuals say, but I might not interpret it the same way as they do. As in, he was making mention of like church history and stuff like that. With that being said, though, in short, I made mention how like, oh, he said something about a calling. Oh, he was saying how God doesn't call us to be solo and do things on our own and things of that nature. And I told him, like, I agree. But what part of my journey did you see that it was solo? Because everything that I was introduced with, I came back to you. And I think that's what I made mention of. I was saying how basically how the fact we haven't talked in a minute and just a random question to get it out of there, have you guys continue to like look into the things I've been saying. And they said they did. To be honest, from their own words, guilt and things of that nature in previous conversations, I can't say I know they haven't, but I doubt they have. With that being said, I told him when he was saying how like the variable things and the calling, like he doesn't call us to be solo. So I basically just threw it out there. I'm like, so like in the case that my calling was to like unite these, because I forget how like it went in the conversation or like what part we was at, but I know it was on like the whole calling thing. Thank you. I just got a message about like the garage and things of that nature. Heavenly Father works things out. Long story short. So we was on the part where he was saying on the calling, and he doesn't call us to do this, but he calls us to do that and do that. Or basically, yeah, he calls us to he's very like, and it's not against that, the authoritativeness, but it's just where he chooses to promote that authoritativeness. Because he was basically mentioning how scripture states that we must submit to authority. Like he's one of those. He's a submitter to Rome, for one. And he doesn't like choose to say it, if I'm not mistaken, because when we did have conversation of the nature, I believe he might have did deny he was Catholic, yet like heavy on Catholicism. And that was my main thing with Protestantism, is like, yeah, saying like the original Protestant Reformation, the people that weren't called Protestants, those were the ones that was actually against the Catholic Church. With that being said, what we have our current day and age is the Catholic Church. Like the Protestant Church literally practices traditions, morals, celebrations, all currently according to the Catholic Church. Now they might not do it the same way as the Catholic Church, but besides that, like they still adapt it and follow through with things taught and et cetera, et cetera. So that's why I see it as one organization two wings fighting against each other just to keep one together. That being said, yeah, I was making mention because you were saying how like we're called to do this, we're called to do that, and ultimately, I am still called to submit to an authority. The thing is, the authority I'm submitting to is not wrong, and that's what I made mention to him. I was saying like, at the end of the day, what if my calling is to do the opposite of what you're saying? Like I'm still under some type of authority, but besides that, what if the callings, instead of submitting to the earthly ones, uniting and things of that nature? And I say that to say, because when he mentioned on the whole like submitting to Rome, or in short, submitting to Rome thing, I'm like, at the end of the day, bro, you got to get it through your head, and it's questionable why it doesn't get through your head, and that's the reason why people like gaslight that part, because it's actually pretty serious. Like, why can't you see through the veil that I do not have to accept things that, or the way that you do? As in, he was making mention, yeah, how I had to submit to things of the nature, church fathers, church teachings, things of that nature. So I'm like, yeah, so like basically I don't have to do those things in nature. So you know what his reply was? He like, if you don't do those things, if you don't do the things according to like basically man says Christianity is, then you're not Christian. And I told him like, yo, that is cool with me. As long as I'm good with dude up there, then you should accept the fact that that's cool with me. Like, and it's scary to say that's why a lot of people see the way they feel, or they feel the way they feel and they see the way they see, because at the end of the day, if you can't just accept that, like even with and I'm not even on the introduction of anymore. I don't know, but we finna go straight dive into it as of yesterday. Something else I also wanted to mention was and also correlates to what I just added there, was I ended up having a conversation with, well, other than the two individuals that I had conversations with while on stream, an individual emailed me later on after the stream asking me anything, and ultimately that is the what's the word, or like what I asked for, if that makes sense. So I was speaking of, let me share the live. Yeah, so back to do on the email, and back to people not having to, like, ultimately concluding in your head that nobody has to follow what you're saying. Like, at the end of the day, we are all on, like, there's an extent to what I'm saying. Like, people could definitely stretch it. I would like to hear the stretch and analyze it, but besides that, what I'm saying is, blank. As in, it don't need any further, like, oh, well, are you saying this? Are you saying that? No, I'm not saying that, or I'm not saying this. But what I am saying is that we just gotta let bygones be bygones. Things of the nature. Things of the nature. Let's get to it. Well, ultimately, I think I was gonna share the stream first, and then I'm gonna go to Dude's email. Give me one moment. Mind, at the end of it, what did he call me? He called me a loser. So, to begin, do you believe that the Bible is a good moral book? Do you believe that a rape victim should be forced to marry her rapist? Have you read Deuteronomy 22, 28, 29? This is just one example of many of the disgusting immorality of Christianity in the Bible. Have you read 2 Samuel 12:11? Does Alua has David's wives raped for David's sin? Disgusting. When Alua drowned the entire earth, how many babies did he drown? How many bunnies and squirrels did he drown? Apparently, Alua doesn't know how to distinguish between innocent and guilty. Christianity is morally bankrupt. The Alua of Christianity is a brutal, murderous, raping thug. If this offends you, that's your problem, not mine. Read your Bible. Now, mind you, he didn't come correct. Like, he didn't, and correct ain't respect, to be honest. It's more like he didn't come with genuineness, things of that nature. He just went rambling about 3 topics, then said like a whole bunch of other stuff. Not sure if he like looked into the things I've been speaking so far to know that I'm not Christian by doctrine, I'm Christian by definition. So I'm not Christian. So anything that like happened in history, things of the nature, it's not my job to defend or attack. Like I said, in the case that he looked into things prior to doing such a thing, like, come on. This was a pretty long conversation. So to do that much and etc. etc. I replied right after that. I meant to get back to you. We'll do so later in the day. Thanks for the wait. He said, look forward to your response. So I said for the Deuteronomy part, it's pretty self-explanatory on why that was done. Majority of the commandments are because of the conditions of man, as in knowing she no longer is a virgin at the time, males wouldn't then marry. That also correlates to why Yeshua tells the disciples that Mary is their mother, as I'm saying, at the time, a woman solo in a world as such. That being said, individuals and certain organizations hold and interpret that when Yeshua tells James and I believe the other one, I forget, that basically behold your mother, and he tells Mary behold your sons. Reason being, I'm not sure who she. Interestingly enough, she would have still had Joseph. So, okay. Give me a moment. That's a whole nother note. Yeah. And I mean, for the Samuel part, it's a is what it is situation, as in you can hang on those details or you can look at it, the bigger picture to it. And for the flood, if you've never been introduced to the book of Jasher, Jubilee, and Enoch, then you should. Hope that was good. And then I also replied, oh yeah, I'm not Christian by doctrine and or history. I'm Christian by definition. And also, just because I release the book and the group goes off my book, it doesn't make my book that organization's book. They just apply traits from it to their belief. And that was that was a reply to his whole like the God of Christianity and the other parts where he was mentioning, because so he replied, so because she got raped and is no longer a virgin, she now has to marry her rapist. Are you kidding me? That's insane. Are you just going to dismiss the fact that Alua kills innocent babies and children and animals? You didn't even address it. The Bible is horrific. I mentioned, if you want to hang on that, then you can, but not I. You make it sound unfathomable, as if Alua isn't claimed to be the creator of all the things you so dearly hold. Interestingly enough, what just came to me was we don't know what part his wife or wives had to play in it. I mean, for one, there are in marriages that weren't in replica of commandment, as in allowing their husband to have other wives and concubines and so on and so forth. And mind you, I was questioning myself on that yesterday. What in a woman's heart truly that is good would want a polygamous relationship? Like, in a way, without the lust part, I could see on the man's end of the deal the good part of a polygamous relationship, as in family, nations, kingdoms, things of that nature. Besides that, on the woman's point of view, why would you? Please, we only 20 minutes in. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of females that are, watch this far in. That being said, when this is posted and published, please comment still and answer for me. Like, typically a woman would want a man by herself. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, like, why would a woman accept a polygamous relationship other than anything on the opposite end of the spectrum? Because I don't see any good on her end. I don't know. We'll see. Basically, they could have, or the who got raped could have also been encouraging, or worse, knowing and standing by. So yeah, I was saying that it's like her being chosen to be the victim of such things of the nature. We don't know if the whole time she knew what David wanted to do and either encouraged it or just stood beside it, because at the end of the day, it was in a polygamous relationship to begin with. So if anything, like, she probably knew of his lust, encouraged his lust, told him to add her to the bunch, knowing that she was a married woman. And that's the bigger picture to this. This is the bigger picture. A man with all in his own eyes, and a man with all internally with just what he needs. With that being said, the man that has all steals from the man that has the least. The bigger picture is you don't do such things without, like, what's the justification? And because it's not. How would you feel if you have one wife, love, just say everything is green, out of nowhere, your brother or cousin or whom has all there is to be? Well, one, that I'll show you that he ain't, like, internally good. Second, you get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, there's a bigger picture to that. So then I also replied, he replied, you have demonstrated the poison of religion, the mental gymnastics that Christians will put themselves through instead of just being honest is amazing. Let me help you out. Rape is wrong, which I never said it wasn't. Babies are innocent and should be protected, which I never said they shouldn't be protected. Human life is a gift and should be valued. There is no context in which killing a baby or raping a woman is acceptable. The Christian divine authority argument is disgusting and horrific. The Lord doesn't get a pass. Let's get personal. Would you ever kill a baby or rape a woman? I certainly would not. So he mentioned, like, there's no context in which killing a baby or raping a woman is acceptable. Interestingly enough, because he didn't, I'm not sure what, like, practice he practices, but interestingly enough, like, if I'm just go off the thought how, like, he's non-Bible, then he may or may not be. No, I wouldn't say he's I don't know what they call the people that, like, promotes abortion and things of the nature. Because I'm assuming, like, he must, like, other than knocking current day abortion, he must be knocking, like, a lot of the ancient civilizations, because a lot of them like sacrifice their babies and things of the nature to deities. So interestingly enough, I want to know what side he on that part. Besides that, my reply was, you're implying that I somehow don't think rape is wrong and that wasn't mental gymnastics. Good day. Oh, so yeah, let me actually reply on that, because I just told him good day and all that. So yeah, I originally was gonna continue adding when I said that wasn't mental gymnastics. I was gonna say how what he was saying was mental gymnastics, because like low key, when you try to put all those things into the picture, it becomes mental gymnastics. But once you realize clearly and unveilably what those things are and how to interpret it, then it's no longer a mental gymnastic. You don't have to wonder what's right and what's wrong, or etc., etc. So with that being said, yeah, everything he said was a mental gymnastic, because like he went off on this, went to that, went to that. Stay on the topic, bro. Then he just kept going, and I could keep going or like continue what he was putting. But if I'm being honest, I just kept telling him like, "Are we done?" Because that goes for what I was mentioning earlier with the brother in existence from the Bible study, how like he couldn't get something through his head. Oh, it seemed to be as if he can't get something through his head. Dude would be the same way, because like after, like my thing is, most of the stuff that is being like thrown at me isn't truly knocking or putting contradictions in what the Spirit is giving me. So with that being said, though, and this also another example. I mean, if anything, he's knocking Christianity so much, he's moving like a Christian. And his own, how in his eyes, how a Christian would move, he's moving. So interestingly enough, yeah, I just kept texting or emailing him like, "Are we done? Are we done?" And like he just kept going, kept going. Then I said, "I'm blocking you." Found out that you can't really block you. With that being said, yeah, I said, "Bye, I'm blocking you, sorry." And then he was like, "Loser." And mind you, that's the thing. As soon as I see that I'm being genuine and you being the opposite, I don't fully make my judgment there, but a part of the judgment is there. And the more you just, I'm going to still look into what you're saying, but besides that, I'm going to also realize that you are the individual that's saying it. So, yeah. So that was like two things that happened as of yesterday. I'm actually stretching. I'm not looking at, well, I am looking at my arms. I'm not looking at my tattoos, so to say, or the verses, so to say. Yeah, that was one of the interesting things that happened yesterday. It was a lot that happened yesterday. I'm trying to think what was the first, one of the last things before I left work yesterday was, I ended up getting my coworker some buffalo wings from Domino's, and I told them to let me know how they were, because I've been like wanting to get some buffalo wings for the longest, but I don't trust Domino's because like the way they make it and the fact that you gotta request people. Please tell me what is the thing of having the request. And I said this yesterday's live, so I'm mentioning it again. Why do we have to request you to cook things well done? Like other than the steak, I get it. Bacon, I don't get it. Like, why am I going to Dunkin' Donuts for fat and eggs? Fat and eggs. Why am I going to Domino's for like chewy chicken? So, that being said, you gotta ask for a hard or well done. I asked him how was it. He said it was busting. So I'm like, I'm finna go get me some later. I go to Domino's. they busy or whatever in the front. They all on like the phone trying to help a customer. Cool. Being patient. It's about like 10 minutes that passed by, and like you could say no thing was mentioned, as in like, are you waiting on an order? Are you gonna take an order? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, no. And the gist of it is I can't hold people for not doing things, I guess, the same way I am. So I get it. I shouldn't be like as, and in due time, if I am wrong for such things of the nature, I pray the Spirit. Like, but besides that, 10 minutes pass by. The genuine thing to do is say something, right? They just still doing whatever they don't mind. They eating while they work. To each their own. I'm like, you know what? People need a bite. I used to take bites. To each his own. But then it gets to a point where the chick, she gets off the phone. She looks at me, goes to the back, and starts working on a pie. So that's when I get up. I'm like, yo, I'm like, rada. Oh, I didn't rada. I'm like, you know. So you can say the moment where like I mentally like drew back though was after making mention, the boss lady, she like to the window quick, like, oh, I'm so sorry, da-da-da. And that's when I'm like, yo, like technically I would have preferred to continue and then just ask what is my order, me give you my order. But instead, like, it was the insistment of an apologizing when it's like ultimately that is something that should have been just kept to self. It was very questionable on why you would apologize after such an event. As such, I don't think an apology is genuine after such. I think it's more of a like stab, tease your zone. That being said, after she asked me, said all that, like, you know, when like you get upset and like your voice gets like, you know, long story short, that's when I'm like, she asked me what I want. I'm ordering like 20% energy. But that being said, after ordering it, usually let you pay like right after you order. But to be honest, I mentally clocked out and I walked to the door and I just had to look outside and just USA. That is okay to say. That being said, you can say after a little bit of going back and forth mentally with the powers that be, I decided to allow him to finish it. Now, mind you, like it was between me, because I'm like, I really can't believe I just went through that, bro. And like, there's moments and times where you go through things, or where I go through things, and I question like, should I take? Oh, I wouldn't consider it an L, but like, should I like take this? So I also wouldn't take it to levels that don't require it. So I'm like, you know what? When they finish this food, I'm gonna tell them thank you. Cause mind you, I didn't pay yet. So I'm gonna tell them thank you, have a good night, and just walk out. And tell them enjoy it. Like, free food, fam, free food. Y'all was eating before, you can eat again. Free food. Long story short, what ended up happening was close to it, but the manager also like added on to it, as in like she made my decision concrete. When they finished, she's yelling out barbecue wings, barbecue chicken. I'm still looking at my phone because I'm like, barbecue, like buffalo, like barbecue. Long story short, I get up. As I'm getting up, she's like, oh no, I'm sorry, buffalo. I looked at her. I'm like, no, thank you. And I just walked out. Free food. And I want to say, that wasn't too, what's the word? I guess sinful, harmful things of nature. I didn't like curse at them out the window. I didn't like break in. Like, if there was to be levels to it, I did the absolute minimum. I let them finish the food and I walked out. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, like, in the case that individuals do feel I am wrong for things of the nature, please do advise. I will interrogate, investigate, and question at the end of the day. But I will always want to allow judgment, persecution in some ways. And, yeah. So that was one of the other two. Oh, and this is where the fruitful part was. And I'm glad I did do what I did. So I'm like, you know what, since I'm going to do this, I technically do want to get something to eat. So, like, let's figure out what we're going to eat. I registered that I'm about to get some stew beef with some rice and some plantains. The thing is, I forgot what time it was, and it was going to close in the next 4 minutes. That being said, I was debating between Taco Bell and McDonald's. I'm like, you know what? Let's go to Mickey D's, right? Technically, it's cheaper when you add up the protein on the $6 meal deal versus the burrito with like 1 serving or 2 serving of steaks. The $6 meal deal got more protein. So from there on out, I went to McDonald's. Interestingly enough, I did only have a 10 on me. Interestingly enough, a brother made mention that he would have like something to eat. So I was like, I got you, as long as it's like it could fit in the 10. So I guess he didn't know what I meant by that. So he said something about a quarter pounder. I'm like, bro, that can't fit in the 10. Long story short, he had asked for a cheeseburger. I got him the cheeseburger. The soda that came with the meal, I gave it to him. As I was helping him out, sister made mention if I could buy her a hot tea. I also made, like, everything was perfectly fine with me. I'm like, as long as it goes with the 10. Mine only went up like an extra 12 cents, which I was taken care of. But besides that, in that moment of doing like goodness and fruitfulness to brothers and sisters and creation, you could say I was indulged with a conversation that, you know, sometimes when it comes to the community, as in that specific community, sometimes all they want to do is just talk. Sometimes they want to be heard. So the lady that I brought the tea for, you could say at first she was bothering me. But then I'm like, you know what, I'm going to just, so we end up having a conversation. And I take that back. I didn't say I'm going to just, the spirit was like, you're going to just. So we had a conversation. She was like flowering me with good like blessings, so to say, as in prophetically. But I let those things go in one ear and one out. I don't hold it to be not true. I just don't hang on to those things, not because I don't want my heart to be broken. It's just because that's not the focus. Like, I'm pretty sure you would know if my focus was the variables versus truth. That being said, though, yeah, that happened. McDonald's. Besides that, another fruitful thing or two. Oh, that's fine. Yeah. Alright. But we are just going to go with the flow for now, instead of just speaking straight at it. We're going to go with the flow. We are currently, as you know, on PlayStation. Wait. Yeah, I'm still good. We are currently, as you know, on PlayStation. As of currently, oh yeah, let me get a text message back to my garage. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I hate inconveniences, especially like when I'm really on my end trying to make sure I come in or do what I got to do when I say it, and like other variables getting in the way. But if I was to express what I'm currently going through with this part time, bro, you'll be like, why am I still there? And it's only like I asked myself that yesterday. Lord the Spirit, powers that be, asked me yesterday, what is your answer to why you are still here, even though you're not getting paid when you're supposed to be getting paid? And in short, I would say because it still gives me something to do, at least on the weekends. Because I know for a fact, well, for one, depending on your relationship and work ethic and security, you could generally do whatever you do at home at work. So, just to give an example, all was well. There was like an occasion of something that ended up happening, but that was because I didn't like keep them updated. Um, there were times I used to always work on my car when I was at work because in the case I was working overnight. Because typically during security by yourself, like you got people, there might be cameras, but they barely watch them until like it's funny stuff on that. But but did I just open Assassin's Creed? I did. Damn. I wasn't trying to play it, but hey. Um, yeah. So security and convenience. I know I was mentioning on me working on the car at work. Uh, I forget why though. Give me one moment. One moment. I know I was saying what I'm currently going through with my part time. Oh, the answer on why, yeah. So because it gives me something to do. The reason why I say that is because like I could do the same things I do at work, at home. The reason why I prefer to do it somewhere else versus home is because like the variables that be at home, which you could say when things are outside of here, it just blows past. But what makes sense? I mean, people that you care, love, nature, things of the nature, you would like hold things more emotionally. So I do prefer at times to do the same things I'm doing here outdoors. So that is the main crux of why like I continue. The second crux would be other than it allowing me to have things to do, it puts me in situations where I could do good or just be there. You get what I'm saying? So fruitful interactions and something to do is the reason why I'm still there. So besides that, I am currently looking for something new, but I would not say that. I would not say that I'm trying as hard as I should. I mean, it's getting to the point where I might even accept. Like, I didn't have anything against it. I actually would like doing a profession for so long. Anything else that is more interaction feels good to me. You get what I'm saying? I've seen things on for McDonald's. That was my first job. I seen things for McDonald's. I think Checkers and a few other places. But it's like with those occasions, even in the case I'm a cashier, drive through, like it gives me opportunities to expand the truth, good news, and goodness in general. I love, or love and truth, those two. Because the grace is important, but grace don't come until we like conversate and things of that nature. But the love comes first, and the truth comes second. Yeah, love comes first. When it comes to doctrine, truth, love, grace. When it comes to between individuals, love, truth, grace. Yeah, or technically they'll still be the same. Either or. So as you can hear the jet fan, I'm not sure. Like how loud it is compared to my voice. I realize I'm probably not looking at the camera all too much.
Look up there.
Boy, I've been trying to raid this village for the past, there's always something that's popping up. Because like I said, I'm playing Assassin's Creed right now. And,
Let's go, FBK.
yeah, I got it on expert all around, so. Where am I? Where am I going? Yeah, I got it on expert all around, so. It's not even here.
Take the full line.
I got it on expert all around, so like 1 or 2 strikes just kill me. So. And mind you, interestingly enough, oh my goodness. Interestingly enough, a lot of in this Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you're kind of on the note of, so you're on the opposite spectrum. Hold on, that wouldn't be a Crusades. Well, it won't be a Crusade at this point. You're basically the opposite side, as in how history, not history, but like in the theaters, you mostly get Shaw, he just hit me with the hammer. Long story short, you're a Viking. You're pillaging a lot of Christian villages and things of that nature. Interestingly enough, this will allow me, because I do dive into things of that nature, especially when it comes to in the movies or like Netflix. Because I do want to fully grasp on each individual's reason. And mind you, like, even for example, how this started, right? Or how this game is going, and in the case those situations are true, and like saying, long story short, something happened in our nation. Seeger, or whatever the dude name was, didn't want to follow his son, his father's command. So what he did was he went to England. And as going to England, it meant like conquering territories or whatever. The first people group we went up to, they didn't. They didn't open us with open arms. What ended up happening was, like, soon as we, and mind you, so it comes with things like that, and that's why like variables matter. We don't know how each war, each fight every day happens. It really could be just off the pettiest things. So to say, when it came to this, when we landed and it was on the beach or whatever, on the shore, the first things was like get these Viking Slavs like off the land, and I mean that gave away for whatever they wanted. Like, you get what I'm saying? Even if their hearts already had it to do, etc., etc. And that's why Scripture says a kind answer basically stirs away wrath. And like you actually, basically the goodness of your heart can open up in others. There's possibilities to it. You don't think so? I mean, every belief has it, no matter what you are. There's some example of, I just got hit with a sword. There's some example of goodness overpowering evil. So I say that to say I totally forget the Assassin's Creed game. But yeah, that being said, it's pretty like that itself ain't eye-opening, but it's a variable in the eye-openingness. So yeah. Because if I'm being honest, there was definitely a way things could have went differently when it came to the whole Crusades and all that. Like, at the end of the day, each man had it in their heart. for some type of vengeance.
Look, I'm on the street.
No, you get what I'm saying? Like, you know, the civilizations that died out and didn't fight are the ones that I would say truly understood love and forgiveness and all those things. Like in the case that like they had the willpower to fight and they chose to just take things as they are, those are the civilizations who are now, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Ah, get him. Just one time, just one time. So hopefully all is going well with everyone. Going forward, I will try to properly, like, because as of, if you're currently watching this, reading this, as of the other day, I mean, as you were seeing earlier, I'd like to know of, I'm trying to, like, properly introduce the stream. Am I too keen on the gameplay? Or like, is that, you know? I prefer visually this and like playing video games that like, you know, I do play, or at a time I did play Call of Duty, Battlefield, things of that nature. I might be saying that because I'm trash, but besides that, because I mean times are definitely different, so I would say it's different for me publishing and promoting gun violence, so I would say. Because I don't. I mean, I do agree with protection of family and things of that nature. Besides that, she almost got me.
Whatever road rubbing. Right side, idiot.
It takes so long to attack.
Let's believe you. We have the advantage.
The swings are slow. And that's what I get. You hit me with something. Mine, I be getting so far on this, man, just to go all the way back. Just to go all the way
The place is all mine.
Oh my goodness. Got 2 men down. 1 man down. And that's the only other thing I dislike with Assassin's Creed. But it makes sense because in real life that's how it happens. But if you're in the way of a swing that has nothing to do with you, you're dead. You're dead. Which makes sense. Makes sense. I'm actually, my stomach pretty like, you know, I'm a little bit hungry. Try to make me something if there's something to make. But besides that, I'll just wait till later. I did want to get some laundry in, if I'm being honest, but from time to time, I'll also like try to draw things off when I could do it right then and there, mentally. Especially, well, it's really because the cold. When it comes to things like that, I'm very hesitant on going outside, especially knowing that I gotta like layer up.
Monastery!
Which ain't no problem because I don't feel comfortable layered up, not as I did before.
Fight!
I prefer to be free. So here we go again, because we died by a swing that had nothing to do with us. Damn, they over here is a 3-on-1 and we over there got crazy. Let's go help our mans out. That's what we're talking about. It had nothing to do with me. He stabbed me. It's javelin. Javelin. This is what I be saying. You don't know how many times I done retried this mission, man. This is why I don't think, well, it will make for good content. And it's not really getting to me too much. Thank the Heavenly Father. But besides that, man, unless I have a lot of conversation or whatever, things of the nature, or like a whole hour, well, not a whole hour currently. I forget. Well, I've only been playing maybe like a half an hour, maybe. But besides that, like, imagine only completing one mission on one stream because we just kept failing.
Feed the raven this day.
He said we'll feast on the ravens. Oh no, I'm both kids. I'm like, hey, I'm a raven too.
Odin takes the
Oh, did you know Odin was a man? Which I can't like, because they could be like, oh, Yeshua is a man. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna knock it like that. You get what I'm saying? The whole time I thought Odin was, you know, the way they and yeah, I don't know. I haven't like actually. I think I just heard that from a beer. Which, you know, things teach you. Things you got me again. That stick. That stick. That stick of a thing. You know what? It's too early. I don't even know why I pressed Assassin's Creed. I think it's because I'm in the Tabernacle of Truth profile. But besides that, we're going to GTA. On the other profile, I currently upgraded the Silico GTF, which I think is supposed to be the Supra. But a GTA, you know, I think it's supposed to be a Supra. Long story short. In due time, I would like to get some laundry, and I'm not 100% sure. I mean, technically, all I need to clean is my uniform. I'm gonna be back. I'm back. I just grabbed some water. And I'm not lying. Unless I do it off the GoPro camera, it's not very easy to like keep consistent looking at the camera off of a laptop or a tablet or even a cell phone, especially when you try to put it in vertical, and horizontal. When you try to put it in horizontal, that don't make it any better. Wait, you get 3 times money for washing the cars? Well, how much money do you get for washing the cars? Because I'm going to go to my other account so I can get the money out. Because they were doing the free car wash business. And they're saying that you could get 3 times the amount of money each car wash you do. And, well, other than the money that you'll get for like the illegal front. But besides that, yeah, when it consists of content on GTA, I try to solely just do drifting and racing. And the only times you would see me mainly doing shooting and things of the nature would be like me trying to get enough money for the mission, or like doing missions to get enough money for a car to further, So technically, for the example of this, I still got to do dirt to do good. But besides that, that's not a real life qualification. Because the most thing I do is just race on here. Well, I'm not racing, but I'll just be swimming, drifting. I would like to get some, from time to time, I meet individuals where I could toge drift with. But besides that, a lot of people don't be keeping up. Or if I'm telling them I'm on their tail, but they don't have the best like ground or like areas, like they don't choose the best routes to drift towards, if that makes sense. So, but I would like in the future someday to get friends up here that are actually good drifters. How else would I toge? Welcome, viewer. Welcome. Salutations. Glad for you to join me. Is this my brother in existence? Sevens. I know it's Point on the spectrum, my guy. Point. Do you believe Triomni is real? Can you explain what Triomni means? If you mean as in a triune, do I think a triune creator? I appreciate that. As in all loving, knowing, powerful. Do I think he's beyond reality, as in it's impossible for there to be one? No. But mind you, you got to remember, a lot of the stuff you're asking, I already like. So I don't know if you're doing it for me to confirm. If that is so, then I will continue. But if this isn't the case to like go against what I'm saying, you might say something that I actually believe. So yeah, let's clarify that. Do you think he's behind reality? Yes. I wouldn't say what's going on in reality makes it any difference, because at the end of the day, what Scripture teaches is the current state of reality is up to generally our own emotions, day-to-day actions, words, and things of that nature. So yes. Do I think that a evil being in the Old Testament did? No, I don't. Have I like looked into the individuals that speak of things of the nature? Yes, I have. Not inspiring philosophy. I forget the brother's name. I believe it starts with an M. But he has white hair, Caucasian, I believe, and he's like into like Gnosticism and things of the nature. And have I read like a few Gnostic texts? Yes. Do I agree with any of them? I believe the Gospel of Thomas was like interesting. I wouldn't say it was anything in there, so to say, to reject. But besides that, yeah. It's a little chilly. I got the window open. If you see me shivering of such. But yeah, I hope that like was able to answer anything. And like, yeah, between me and you, like, you really got to register in your heart, like, because yeah, you gotta like register in you. Like, are you trying to further this relationship and actually get to the bottom of things, or like, are you really just up here to be extra? I'm going to read the comment. There would not be suffering if there truly was. How so? Because, like I said, the all loving, wait, he said the qualities are all loving, all knowing, and powerful. So he knows everything. Even though he knows everything, the love allows him to keep himself from like authoritative in it, because people complain about that too. In the case that he was in control of everything, they'd be like, "Oh, well, this or that." Long story short, I didn't mean to get like that, but yeah. With that being said, like the all-knowing part, he knows what's gonna happen. The all-loving, even though he knows, he decides to, you know, and then the all, what's the other one? All powerful. I don't get how that would like go against his power, so to say. See, what y'all requiring is heaven, and we ain't there. So, like, I get what you're saying, but that's why he made heaven, and that's why we had Eden. But when it comes to our own decisions and et cetera, that's why we're in the conditions that we are in. But if you really want to blame anybody, blame Adam, because even though it was known what was going to happen, to each decision, each word, each things of the nature was not, what's the word? Predestined, if that makes sense. Like, you are not forced. Like, I'm not being forced to words I'm saying. I'm choosing it. Like, even if it was, so to say, supposed to happen, I'm still choosing on my own behalf. And I can say any other words I would like to right now. So with that being said, yeah. Love that doesn't protect simply isn't love. Okay. Why does it? I don't know why y'all do this, bro. You're not being any different than Dan Edwards. Love that doesn't protect simply isn't love. What kind of father would I be if I let my children come to harm? I mean, I would say a lot of. So, what kind of father would you be to smother and corrode, and so like on both ends of the deal, you got problems. So I mean, like I said, for y'all individuals to want to hang on to stuff that y'all hang on to it. But besides that, I'm not seeing this the same way as y'all do. I'm not. And really, answer me this: why are you doing this? And yes, even if you give an answer, I would then investigate that answer. Slippery slope arguments fall particularly flat when talking about child suffering. I guess, bro. I guess. Now you finna be in Dan Edwards' bucket. Sure, you sound like you pursuing emotions and bigotry and things of that nature. Because if it was truth, tell me what I truly should follow. Tell me what I should be following. You don't tell me what I shouldn't be. Tell me everything that I should be doing. What's the purpose of life? Give me a new religion, brother man. It's not. What are you talking about? Cooperation. I'm thinking that might be a comment that you was typing while I was speaking, but that's not an answer to my question. What should I be doing if, etc., etc.? Do you have a new belief for me? Do you have a new creator I should follow? Like, if you're gonna start off with this and not accepting the damn thing that I'm saying, what's up with it then? So what does that mean? The purpose of life means to survive. The best way to survive is together. Symbiosis with all things. Symbiosis. What does that mean? And please stop going on with multiple things. Like, do one comment on like all the things I just mentioned here. Sorry to be so like frank with it, but bro, it's getting to that level. Like, you're doing this much. What should I be doing here? Because you basically knocking everything I'm saying for these little emotional tactics that you playing here. It's on emotionalism, which ain't nothing wrong with that, but yeah, yeah, I don't think you have an answer. Thank you, appreciate you. Once again, you'll be doing a fruitful deed to the truth and kingdom. And if you're so annoyed about the volume of the game, I'm finna turn it up until you leave, because you're the only viewer. We're an hour and 14 minutes in, people. An hour and 14 minutes. Something I do want to know is tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. Your name, your age, where you're from. Because you know those things about me. It's only genuine, you know. It's only peaceful to do the same. Oh. What's your name, your age, where you're from? Wow, you had to hit it with a question first and then say, I used to be a pastor, now father, 30s. Congratulations. Actually, that would be for conversation. So I'm going to turn this down and we are going to further discuss. Because, yeah, I would like to understand why you came to your conclusions. What denomination or religion of pastoral services would you say? You don't actually got to give me your name. I'm finna put a hoodie on. Give me a second. So, fundamental Christian. Let me just look it up. Saying experience argument. So if it's another like thing of yours, I'm not as of currently, but you could finish continuing. We could finish continuing speaking about your journey and why you come to your understanding. Besides that, we're not getting into no longer any more doctrine, biblical, scriptural conversations of the nature. You have, and I forgive you, but I'm not finna move forward on it, which doesn't mean I don't forgive you. But with that being said, when it comes to things of the nature, I'm no longer interested in conversation with you. Going forward, I would like to learn why you have come to your conclusions without scriptural, just yeah, without anything in the nature. Like, don't put God involved in it. Well, you could, but like just generally speak on how you feel about things, what you've seen in life, like stuff like that. Besides that, anything that requires me to like reply to, as in like looking. Well, I'm gonna look into all of it myself, anyways. But you get what I'm saying. The foundation of my transition away from supernatural belief was the X. So, like you're saying, you no longer believe in the supernatural. Oh, I get it. I get it. I mean, I would say that's a very like that's one of the things I mentioned. Like I disagree with, as in the Catholic Church holds, and if anything, different than the Catholic Church because a lot of the whole school of thought and all those things in nature came from, so to say, those things. So I say that to say look, you forgot. Look, you forgot. But I guess at the end of the day, if that's what you choose, that's what you choose. I will also say, like, instead of keep going back and forth with me on different topics, try to like hear me out more than. I mean, I do appreciate the discussions and dialogue, but besides that, like, so would you say you're open to, in the case something was true, to then, because if you're not, then I don't know why you're continuing. If you are, please continue. But besides that, yeah, I wouldn't say anybody coming to like save us. It's not. I don't get why you still asking questions. You're still going. You, cool. You completely understand my perspective. Cool. Can we stop conversating? Can you stop talking to me? Because you're weird. We're all weird, but you're being a different type of weird right now. So like, and if you want me to believe what you believe, you're not helping it. You're not. And that's what the thing with other, and that's why other people say things about other religions. But if you're gonna say a thing about Christianity, you're doing the exact same thing about Christianity doing. You're a different type of weird. But bro, like, stop it. I'm glad y'all both watching, but stop it, bro. You was not helping the cause here. If we're both trying to strive for truth, if I was to give an opinion, you're not helping it. I'm sorry. Now you could get upset about that or try to help with it. Ugh. Opinion isn't truth. What do you mean opinion isn't truth? And here you go again. And here I go again. I'm finna stop responding to you. And anybody that views and have watched so far should know that like I gave you the benefit of the doubt, all the things of the nature. But yeah, I'm glad to have met you. I still don't know your name. Hope all's well going forward. All love. Can I kick a person? I think I could. I might have. Well, I might could. Of course, and I'm okay with that. You're funny as hell. Point on the spectrum. Heart user on this channel. Agreed. You deserve it. Wait. Okay, the user's messages will be hidden, so you can still view. Wait. Try to Wait. No. I want to keep your messages up there. I just don't want any new messages. That's gay. Oh, you could, and you still could comment. That's even gayer. Yeah, how do I chat? I mean, not chat. Administrators. Well, he left. That counts, right? Oh, all I had to do is put the user in timeout, bruh. Get out of here, Jack. Get out of here. I'm actually upset about that because I pray. I'm not too upset. I'm a tad bit bothered by that, as in, like, I mean, I do read his comment and didn't answer, so people would know that what I'm replying to. Besides that, nobody's gonna know who the hell. Oh my goodness. to mind yeah, and that's the gist. Like you can't allow your emotions to categorize like a whole like to a point. Like when it's getting to a point where like yeah, it's the whole organization versus like it's a few apples in the organization. Let's say that to say like originally I was going to just knock Gnosticism or because the individuals who are conversating with me seeming like they're like in rejection of the Old Testament, like teachings and doctrines of Gnosticism. But I can't knock Gnosticism entirely based off of the individual's poor communication and spiritual skills to not, you know, things of the nature. But without even so, like I knock beliefs off of the internal doctrines and relevance of that. I don't knock beliefs off of the individuals who are portraying and conveying the messages. Because yeah, it does matter who's saying it, but to a you know what I'm saying? Because for example, the Hebrew Israelite brothers, even though they are individuals who have like their bad rep and et cetera, a tad bit of what they're saying happens to be true. So like I wouldn't knock the whole doctrine off of their poor social skills and poor love qualities. So to say one doctrine I could say I hope to know to be true is the fact that like the 12 tribes are still out there and like basically when it comes to the Ashkenazis and things of the nature, I would hold them to be converts. I wouldn't say they're not Jew. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't say they're fake. If anything, they are the individuals who were called to be grafted in. With that being said, though, it's something I do know to be false entirely because no matter which way you run it around, well, it could be true, but no matter which way you run it around, I wouldn't even accept who the ones that's speaking it because how would it make sense? So to say, they say the white man is the devil, right? Or the white race is the devil, right? My thing is, there's one theory that the professor or whatever, Dr. Yakub, basically created the white man in the lab. Basically, how do I say it? No matter how you spin it, at the end of the day, I'm still gonna hate myself because how does that make sense? Uh, you say the black man created the white man, and the white man happens to be the devil. So you're basically telling me the black man created the devil, and what's currently happening to us is you're basically saying our own like fault. Like you get what I'm saying? So that's one end of the spectrum. On the other end of the spectrum, other than the Yakub theory, you got the well, that would be the gist of it. Is that either or in the other case of the black man creating the white man, they also hold like the black man to be God. So then, if you're also saying that like you get what I'm saying, no matter how you put it, it just is still a continual battle and hatred of self and others, which I have no intentions on being in. When I was younger, I did indulge in myself with things of nature, and it aggravated me to the point where like I was doing the same as you or the same as others, as in anger and hatred of police officers that is just wearing a uniform and got nothing to do with my anger and frustration or the video I just saw. Yet, you know, so there was a time I was as such. I was a supporter or uh, ignorant folk as such, if anything. Um, with that being said, though, Yakub, so you can say where I hold it, or where I say Scripture holds it, or where I say truth will hold it, and things of the nature, and it's up to you to decide yes or no. Um, both black and white men have no like they're just man. The man that was upstairs, or the man that's upstairs, chose to use a group from African descent, and the man downstairs happened to use a group from Caucasian descent. So with that being said, not every race of the black, et cetera, was Alua inspired, so to say, and not every race and sub, et cetera, and Caucasian. Like, so basically, y'all judging the whole race on a specific like blood group. You get what I'm saying? So with that being said, I forget why initially I mentioned it. No, I was speaking about narcissism, and I went on that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. We are an hour and a half in. I'm probably gonna do this to 2 hours, and then if I was to go to the laundromat, I would just clean my uniforms and the essentials, the essentials. But yeah, man. What a day! What a day already! What a day already! Wait, oh my goodness! I meant to call another car in. And then that's really like very questionable, not questionable, but scary. Like it would be beautiful in the case that y'all were a couple trying to understand, but to say that y'all like watching my videos together as a couple and being very conniving and not genuine, and I'm gonna just judge you as you is. Sorry, you have time to change it, but I'm gonna just judge you by what I currently experience, and that you are a questionable, wicked individual. Like there's no end, or there's no way that you could say you're somehow loving. Yet just said that like you were not willing to learn anything new. You basically did, and sorry that the messages in the comments are deleted. But if I'm not mistaken, he said something about whatever belief to not to death. He said something. Basically, he concreted in what he believed in. And I'm not even concreted in what I'm believing in. It's the truth. So I don't know. I have no idea. Nah, I have some, but none at the same time. None at the same time. Yeah, that's scary and questionable. Not scary as in fearful, but just spooky. Like, why is you and your wife just, I guess, laying up in bed, real life watching me and being a weirdo? As in, like I said, we're all weird, but the type of weird he's being is a different type of weird. And I guess, yeah, technically she wasn't watching. She just heard in the background me saying that he's weird, but a different type of weird. And her like laughing at me saying about like, having a shootout on the highway. Oh my goodness. So yeah, yeah. What a day so far. What a day. So other than me attempting, hopefully, to get laundry in, I do have work at 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. I'm not entirely sure if I want to go on time based on like, if I was to further express what I'm currently going through with the part-time job on the weekend, you guys would be like, bruh, oh, like I said earlier, why are you still there? Which I questioned myself, or the spirit questioned me. So I gotta make sure I have the answer for the question going forward. But as in, like, why am I still going to a job that is giving us the runaround and not paying us on time? Because Because one, at the end of the day, I'm still getting what I'm owed. Two, it keeps me out of trouble and being able to have things to do and do fruitful deeds and good deeds. And it just keeps me, because, I mean, for me, at the moment, currently, due to so I wouldn't say the verse is not true, as in the verses that say an idle mind is the devil's workshop. I believe that is true in the case that the spirit of truth and the spirit, you get what I'm saying, in the case that those variables wasn't involved in that individual's mental, then I would say yes, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. But as of currently, the idle mind has been able to allow me to brainstorm, think of just a lot of different things, and do good entirely. Where did you go? She shot me and left. So yeah. So trying to think or allow the spirit to give me new intuition on what to speak about as of currently. Because I could go into those details, which I might go into those details, but I am going to go into those details. Those details being the thankfulness of the current growth and the growth to be continuing, because I mean, I'm glad that the spirit was able to allow me to be compelled to start getting into the shorts. And I mean, the only issue is, which is because I was doing it by myself, is clipping the videos and then producing them into shorts. But you can say as of recently, I have started utilizing AI capabilities. Am I still doing it by myself? Yes, with the guide of the Holy Spirit. Apologies, the Holy Kadesh Spirit. With that being said, I really don't hold it to be AI that's doing it, because at the end of the day, the Spirit is giving me it, and I'm giving it to AI, and then there's being a production being made. At the end of the day, AI had a tad bit to do with it, but it don't get the glorification and worship and things of the nature or benefit of the reason where I'm at now. Because I mean, if I was to do that, bring up the verse of having a master, if I was to choose my intuition and the benefit and the goodness of the production being the creator or AI, either I love the one and I hate the other, or I despise one and something the other. So with that being said, the worship, honor, thankfulness, things of the nature goes to the creator. And AI gets no love, because at the end of the day, who created AI? Man. Who created man? The creator. Just of it. No way around it. And that's what, interestingly enough, that's going to come up. From time to time, I vent what the Spirit gives me on Facebook. And something that was given a minute ago was, at the end of the day, everything that we have produced on this earth is man-made, yet inspired either from above or below. And there might be some examples where the inspiration is solely from self, which that is, a whole other thing that you could. It crashed. Yeah. Say no, but with that being said, because the reason why I did mention that is because it was like different variables to why I felt or like I had to find a clarification on certain things because like you could basically say being listening to like different debates and things of the nature, a lot of the arguments be like how this is man made or that da da da. You know, realize on all sides man had to do some part in it, but even if they did, the creator of that man was the creator. Oh, wait, what? I'm confused. I'm getting out of here. I don't know what's going on here. But, yeah, say that to say, because it's like, you could say the gist of my calling is to find conclusions between, like, the bickering between, like, the family. Because at the end of the day, we're all family. That being said, we all have one father. With that being said, in the case that that was my calling, so to say, I'm called to bring the family back together. Am I important? Hell no. Am I Alua? No. Am I the creator? No. Am I a creation among creation? Yes. So that being said, like yeah, I may have a calling, but I am nothing, so to say. And gist of it. Sorry for hitting you, sir. I need another sip of water. My stomach feeling funny. I ain't eat yet. Yeah, I don't know how many times like there were conversations I was having when I was genuinely trying to get to the bottom of something, and the individual just wouldn't be helping. And it's like technically it would be helping us both, but I feel like personally it would be knocking something that they want to keep onto, so they just like don't try to see it anyway. Either like yeah, they don't want no type of progress, and as long as they continue whatever they was being allowed to do with the doctrine that they held to be true and things of that nature. So yeah. I just ran over. This is why you don't look at your devices while driving. Like I said, I would, instead of individuals seeing what I'm currently doing right now, I would prefer to them go and search into my previous content where I conversate about things of the nature. And like, in short, you can't hold, like, in the case you want to hold, like, oh, like he needs it, things of the nature. We're almost 2 hours in, and to a very mental, exhausting, mental, engaging conversation to where, like, I was not aggravated, but had the mental, like, migraine. So with that being said, yeah, like, you're allowed to have judgments, but make sure your judgments are true. Because even when it comes to, I guess I could conversate about that. During my journey, realizing that at the end of the day and being introduced at the end of the day, it's not the thing outside that's defiling you, but the things inside. I further, you could say, or the spirit gave me the thought to further and the power to further, like, restrain myself from things of the nature because I had to prove to myself, like, yo, is what they're saying is true. That being said, what what I currently do to make sure that I have no master in itself of marijuana or things of the nature. As I'm at my full-time job, I don't do anything. So with that being said, I go through half of the day doing nothing, half of the day doing something. With that being said, if it was the case that I was before, I'll be doing it all times of the day, no matter what. But now, the Spirit has allowed me to like restrain and be obedient. Be obedient. But you know what I dislike more? You know what I dislike a lot? An individual that don't do things and like preach against those who do. Especially when they do things, they just stop doing things and don't make further mention of how, like, you get what I'm saying? They don't truthfully say things how it is. Or like they start doing something, they say, "Oh, I'm this type of person." And technically, no, you wasn't. Technically, you just recently changed, and to each your own. Like you could do that, but you should properly claim what is to be properly claimed. And if you was that type of individual on the cover, and now you've been able to express it and further like explain that, but to say that you're this type of person when you haven't been. So yeah, like I was saying, with the current growth of the channel and like me currently recently utilizing AI capabilities, it has definitely made it a little bit simpler and better when it comes to things. Like for now, knowing certain videos I would like to come out with, I would like give a brief explanation on like what I would speak about during that video, and then have AI basically create a YouTube title for that video, and then even better, create a YouTube title that like causes SEO boost. So like words. The only thing I dislike about that, and the only reason why I wouldn't be like able to completely utilize the SEO boost, is because, say for example, I use a word that correlates to what Christianity is supposed to be preaching. It would like say words like that when to create like SEO boosts when like I'm not. Like it will assume or write it as if like I'm promoting. Oh, my OG FaceTiming me. Tap. I don't know. Monty was supposed to wake him up at 12. Well, technically, I was gonna try to get some laundry in. Well, do what you gotta do. I didn't know my camera was off. Yeah. You want me to wake him up or not? No, she said she won't go for 12. That's in 15 more minutes. Sound like I just heard the door. Mm-hmm. Let's see it. No, I said, let's see. Let's see. I thought that was the name or something. Yeah. Right. And by any chance, if individuals are wondering why I have what I have on my back, when I don't go by symbols or things of the nature, reason being, when I first started back in the journey, me being already like brought up with Christian beliefs and things of the nature. Ended up being like one of my favorite hoodies at the time. With that being said, though, I no longer like publicly, technically, other than the fact of you visually just seeing it there, it wouldn't be a case you would. I say that to say I don't publicly like wear this hoodie. I do keep it because it's very comfortable. It has a nice hood. It's more like one of them like monkish kind of hoods. So I like the design and things of that nature. But I say I am breaking commandment by doing so. Ultimately, if you want to hold that opinion, you can. I wouldn't like give it that much, you know, based on the fact like I don't wear like there's no reason why I'm wearing it, as in that simple. Others they wear it to symbolize this or represent this. When I'm not going for it by that, it's just nothing. It's just there. Technically, I actually spray painted over it, but the spray paint that came off in due time. The original plan was to get nail polish remover and remove the thing, which I haven't. Which, interestingly enough, I might look into start trying to do that again because I'm serious about it. So I don't want there to be any like hypocrisy in what I'm saying because I'm wearing a hoodie as this in my own crib, not in any representation of anything. So basically, to nip it in the butt, I would like to remove it, and my Heavenly Father willing, it will then be removed. There was something I was going to speak about before my OG called. I forget. I know I was saying the AI thing, the descriptions. Also, when it comes to like, the titles, when it comes to descriptions, I do the same. Oh, that's what I was talking about, the SEO boost or whatever. So yeah, like certain keywords and highly boosted words are things that I don't represent. So yeah, like even when it comes to the word Bible, I ultimately like I call it the good book. To each your own. I don't disagree on the whole Bible. Like saying Bible is the conspiracies around why it's being called that true? Maybe. Is that a part of the reason why I chose? Yes, because yeah, they may or may not be right or wrong, but just in case, I'm gonna just change it. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like I don't see not the harm in that, but you get what I'm saying? Because yeah, in short, you may or may not be wrong, but besides, you may or may not be wrong. Oh yeah, I left I forgot what I was saying. So yeah, SEO, me not using words, the whole Bible conspiracy and why it's called that. Me calling it just a good book. That being said, like a lot of it wants to SEO Bible, so it could be like search friendly. But I typically use the word scripture or like things like that. And scripture is not something that's like SEO relative, midly, but not high SEO relative. So as of the other day, I believe when it came to my channel trailer video, in the descriptions, I did change a lot of like the SEO boosted words because like one, it was there multiple times. So in the case somebody was to search it, then you got one, be happy with that. In the case that it was like the other one, yeah. I did take a mean one this morning. I might have to take another. But yeah. So we're almost at the 2-hour mark, and it's almost 12 o'clock. Am I satisfied? Yes, I don't think there was any more conversation needed to be said. We had a good dialogue. We had a good dialogue with an individual. Well, I guess he's still considered a brother in existence. He wouldn't be considered my brother in truth, or brother in Christ, or brother in any type of. Because I would see him as a brother in our way. Based off of his like non-agreement with genuineness, I wouldn't consider him to be like a brother in like not mutual respect, but a brother in like agree. I wouldn't consider that. We're just brothers in existence. Um, we did speak about Brother Dan and his emails, and I also like further allowed the Spirit to expound on that. That being said, I mean, not too much more to get into as of now. Will I be going live later? I doubt. It depends on what happens throughout the day. I know for a fact I would like to tomorrow after school. Well, it's between me. In the case I'm not doing all the clothes. If anything, I'm just doing uniform. So with that being said, more importantly, I have to get in laundry tomorrow after school. But besides that, as of currently, I still have to make a visit to the garage to get the reading of Genesis chapter 5 to 6 in. I am planning a Valentine's Day video, which technically with those, they don't have to be like recorded in the garage. So I would prefer to get the clips of the reading in before I get the clips of the Valentine's Day in. But one requires where I'm already standing at or sitting at, and the other requires me to go somewhere. So, I hope I'm not making the wrong decision and such. I believe both is technically correlated in the good news, truth, and love. So at the end of the day, I don't see me choosing one master over the other when they're both a part of the same team. But with that being said, though, we will be expecting a history lesson, alternative outlook on Valentine's Day. And then going forward after those two, just to speak a little bit ahead, I do plan on making a not Bible study, basically my experience in the National Guard video, and also what I was saying earlier, I would like to make a video on, I don't know if I did say it earlier, but I did already brainstorm it on my notes, but I would like to drop a video basically clarifying on like the whole motherhead and the Alua head, and in short, each thing that correlates to why I hold that to be true, and why I would say that who created me was the Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, and their Heavenly Son, which happens to be our Heavenly Brother, Adon, Savior, Redeemer, Sanctifier, all things of the nature. With that being said, that is another video I would like to drop soon in case that you guys are interested. As you guys may have been watching along, the channel is growing pretty expeditiously. In due time, I would start doing, because I did it once, which I question why it works, but it works, so I'm going to just do it. As in, for example, I was stuck on like 94 subscribers for like a good minute. I was attempting to get to 100 by the time that they consider to be the New Year's. With that being said, oh man. Oh yeah, so to 94 subscribers, I wanted to get 100 before the New Year, what they say. With that being said, I did a thing where I posted on Instagram where in the case that I was able to get to 100 subscribers, the 100 subscriber will get $10. And you could say it happened very, very, very quick. That being said, due to the fact it works, other than me being questionable on why it takes that for people to get engaged, besides that, I may or may not do a thing where I don't drop a video until I reach a certain subscriber count, or basically if that works, then sadly I gotta withhold information for your engagement. So I mean, you can have the judgment you want on me, but the only reason I'm doing such things in the nature is because that's what you guys require. So don't require it. Because I really would prefer you not to require it instead of requiring it and not complaining. I prefer you to just not require it. So, to each their own. I think we are going to end this. That being said, don't forget, in the case you're in agreement, to like. Also comment the thumbs up in agreement, thumbs down in disagreement. I would also like for you to subscribe for content coming soon and more things of the nature. That being said, sayonara, saints and sinners, all around yonder. Peace, shalom.